Your right to freedom of expression is under threat in this country, and that is a really big deal for tax fighters. Why? Well, because tax fighters like you help the Canadian Taxpayers Federation dress up in pink pig costumes and hand out golden pig statues to politicians and bureaucrats who waste your money. It's because of tax fighters like you that we were able to call out the federal carbon tax for the outrageous tax grab, the terrible waste of money that did nothing to improve the environment for exactly the scam that it was. What would happen if we couldn't express ourselves freely online? Guess what? That means that we would not be able to hold the government to account. This is why the Canadian Taxpayers Federation is fighting this on two fronts. That's why we're saying no to legislation like the law that was just passed, Bill C-11, and the new law that might be reintroduced under Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal government, Bill C-63. Bill C-63 is the so-called Online Harms Act that could very likely come back into the House of Commons in some way, shape, or form. The issue there is that it could limit your ability to express yourself online, especially through online platforms like YouTube, X, Facebook, all of that. Basically, the political watering holes in Canada. If you can't speak up there, that's a major problem. The other way that we're fighting this, of course, is to defund the media. You know that the CBC is taking $1.4 billion from you this year, which is a disgusting amount of money. But did you also know that when they came out and said, oh, don't worry, we're listening, we're getting rid of the bonuses, that they were playing a real sleight of hand? Yeah. Documents obtained by the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. My colleague Franco Terrazzano has a great story up on our website, taxpayer.com, showing that, sure, they got rid of the bucket of money that was labeled bonuses or performance pay or whatever they called it. Instead, they gave themselves historically huge pay raises instead. They think you're stupid. They think that you won't notice at the state broadcaster that instead of just calling it bonuses or performance pay money or whatever it is and giving themselves big fat pay hikes instead, that you won't notice, but we did notice. Head on over to our website, taxpayer.com, to read more about the little shell game that the CBC is playing with your money. But further to that, did you know that a huge chunk of the mainstream media in Canada is now on government payroll? Yes, media companies other than the CBC are now depending on government funding. The folks at Blacklock's Reporter did an amazing job breaking this down. Blacklock's Reporter is an independent, non-government funded investigative journalism website. So definitely support their work. They broke it down, and it's around $29,000 per media company employee that they're now dependent upon from the government. That is the opposite of a free press. A free press means to be free from government influence, from government pay, from government interference. So this is a serious problem for free expression here in Canada, folks. If on one side of this ever-tightening vice, we have these online censorship laws, and on the other side of this ever-tightening vice, we have more and more journalists on the government payroll, that's a conflict of interests. Journalists must not be paid by the government. So, folks, this is super important. If you want to be able to speak up against the government, to peacefully protest, to hold the government accountable, to do even fun stuff, right? Like dress up in pig costumes and call them out for wasting your money every year, you need to join the fight. Head on over to our website, taxpayer.com. The best way to join the army is to sign the petitions that speak to you. So this one says, the Canadians have a right to free speech on social media and online platforms. That right is vital to hold politicians accountable. We, the undersigned, call on the federal government to oppose online censorship legislation. So go sign that one if you're opposed to the censorship. Go sign the other petition to defund the media because that is how you can stand up and be heard.